What's happening, everybody? Today is the 13th of December, Sunday the 13th, and it's time to shave. As promised, today we're going with the oneblade. These are the, I didn't really get much of a chance to go over this with you guys, but these are the blades. The wrapping actually looks familiar. I'm sure you guys have seen that plenty of times. Yeah. But the blade itself is a little more different. Let's go ahead and, so, they're packaged just like regular feather blades in that they have wax dots towards the middle of the blade itself. And here's what you get. That's it right there. This is the cutting bit, this is the not cutting bit, and yeah. It looks like they're each numbered as well on the wrapping. That's a little weird. Anyway, so yeah, here's the blade, and you throw it in like that. So, there you go, and that's it. Okay. Today's soap, or actually, today's brush is going to be the Chubby 3 Darkness Ebony. Today's soap, Rome. We roaming today. Yeah. So let's go ahead and get these proceedings underway. Water is acting up. Alright, here we go. So let's go ahead and get right into yesterday's fights. We'll go in chronological order. I didn't watch the prelims. Honestly, I really had no reason that I didn't. It's not like I was doing anything, I was here. Let's do this. Alright. It's been a while since I've used this brush. Like I've mentioned before, this brush is, it's pretty similar. It feels similar, I should say, to my Polo 10 Manchurian, but it has, you know, it's a chubby, so it's packed denser and it has more backbone. But I really do like this brush. It's easily my most broken in Manchurian Chubby 3. I say that like I have a bunch of them, but it's actually, I should say, this is my most broken in Manchurian brush, period, and it's quite good. There we go. Yeah, before I get into the fights last night, I don't know what part of the country you may be in, or what part of the world you may be in, but it's been really, like, oddly warm here. Today was 70, and it really hasn't been much cooler than that at all, like, all week long, and it's very, very strange. Here in the northern hemisphere, we're usually going through a little something called winter, but not this year. And I bet Nashville probably is having even nicer weather. That's kind of a joke, not for real though. Alright, so this is going to be the first go with that razor. And in case I don't like it, we've got a BBS1 with a polsilver on the ready. So yeah, don't forget this is the thing that does this. So, not gonna lie, you guys, I'm really leery as to how this is gonna work out. But let's give it a shot. Huh. Well, that's not as bad as I thought it would be. The blade feels a little weird. It doesn't feel as sharp as a feather DE blade, and this thing is not as efficient as most of my DEs. That's good lather right there. Good man. And it smells good too because it's Rome. Well, I'm surprised at the performance of this thing. This thing is not too terribly efficient, like at all. This is me going in the same spot numerous times. And as you can hear, I'm still getting hair. Wow, that's weird. Let's go over that same spot again, see if there's anything, if clearing it out helped any. You know, as I mentioned in the video from the other day when I was going over the unboxing or whatever, all accounts are that these blades don't really last as long as your average DE blade. Now, again, you know, the retailer, whoever, the manufacturer, blah, 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 the guy who you give your money to get this razor, they recommend that you pitch these blades after one use. So I'm wondering if I'm going to have to go through more than one on this shave with this thing. And honestly, if I have to do that, I probably am not going to. But actually, yeah, I will. I'll tough it out. Because I do want to see what this thing is like on the face. Because I don't think most people design razors with head shavers in mind, to be perfectly frank. Because I don't know what it is with you people in hair, but you guys try to keep it and hold on and comb it over and all that weird stuff. This is an odd razor. Anyway, yes, the fights. So we're going to go in chronological order. This thing, the angle on this thing is really weird. I'm really digging this thing into my skin and making use of this spring / pivot or whatever, and it seems to work better like that. I really hope I don't get a bunch of irritation as a result of my experimentation. But I will say it actually works pretty decent when you use it like that. Anyway, I'm going to rehydrate this lather as well. So the fights last night, like I said, we're going to go chronological order from first fight on the pay-per-view, or earliest fight on the pay-per-view, to the main event. So Max Holloway had a fight, and he is a very promising kid in the 145-pound division. In the UFC, that division is called featherweight. Pretty sure boxing has a different name. Boxing has a ton more weight classes than mixed martial arts. But yeah, so Max Holloway won his fight. I didn't really see him losing that fight. Damian Maia had a fight. And if I've talked to you guys at length about fighting, then you know that I like grappling a lot. My two favorite aspects of mixed martial arts, in order of preference, are jiu-jitsu, as the Brazilians say, and boxing, Western boxing. Damian Maia is one of the absolute very best jiu-jitsu practitioners that's ever competed. Well, he's one of the very best jiu-jitsu practitioners ever, period, regardless of whether or not they made the leap into mixed martial arts. Damian Maia, he fights at 170 pounds, welterweight. And he's a grappling, like, master whiz. The dude is ridiculous. Ridiculous. He had a fight against a guy called Gunnar Nelson, who is a highly touted prospect. And, yeah, he's a highly touted prospect. He's a grappling, his game is very grappling heavy, although his striking has been making strides. But his bread and butter, make no mistake, is grappling, particularly jiu-jitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu. So, the grappling fan in me was looking forward to it, although quite frankly, I didn't think that Gunnar Nelson would have anything to offer Damian Maia. Because again, the dude is he's unreasonably good. He's a throwback fighter, in a way. He's one of those guys that's just really, really, really good at one aspect of the game. And you know what he's going to do. Well, and I say throwback because that's how it used to be back in the day. It was very much style versus style. It was very much style versus style. So, you know, you would get these specialists that would fight. Stuff gets, I retracted the blade a little bit. Like, I pulled it up and blah, 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 but stuff likes to get caught up under there. So he's very much a throwback fighter in that, you know, he's just coming in there with his one big weapon, which is his jiu-jitsu. And you know what he's going to try to do. It's just up to you to try to, A, not let him get you in a position to do his thing. And if you do have the unfortunate circumstance of finding yourself on the ground with Damian Maia, then you have to try to figure out a way to not let him strangle you. Because he's a chokes guy. He's not really a joint locks guy. And Gunnar Nelson was not the guy. I have to wonder if that was a bit of pride. I have to wonder if it was his pride, you know, was the reason that that he even found himself on the ground to begin with. You know, again, he's a grappling guy, so he's comfortable on the ground, but nobody's going to be comfortable with Damian Maia on the ground. Ooh, I need to change this blade. Yep, I need to change this blade. Hang on. Longevity of these blades, not optimal. Alright, so there goes that. Where did I put that box? There it is. Probably gonna have to refresh this lather as well. These blades are a little bit bigger than DE blades. They're kind of reminiscent of a SE blade, but not really. And I will say this, whatever this is, actually, let me show you this one. Whatever this is, it looks like it should be a word, but I don't think it is, and it looks pretty cool, I suppose. Give this a shot. Big difference. This thing does not offer a ton of audio feedback. This thing does not offer a ton of audio feedback. Told you. I will say, the amount of pressure that you can get away with using this thing is hilarious. Yeah. So getting back to the fights, Damian Maia. Damian Maia showed his grappling prowess last night. That dude was next level. I'm gonna go ahead and do this real quick. Word. Yeah, he showed off his grappling. He did not give Gunnar Nelson any opportunity to do anything on the ground. Grappling Damian Maia is like grappling a 170-pound octopus with a black belt in jiu-jitsu that is very, very strong, because he used to be He used to fight in the next weight class up, which was middleweight, 185 pounds. Had an unsuccessful title run and moved down to 170 pounds. Now here's the thing about Damian Maia, is that he was working on his striking at 185, but I think he was working on his striking because he had to. He was having a hard time taking those guys down to the ground. Whereas at 170, he's a pretty big dude for the weight division, and he's still silly strong. He doesn't look like it, but man, that dude is like an ape. So yeah, he was, like I said, Gunnar Nelson was facing an octopus in there. A strong octopus with a black belt. And the reason that being an octopus would be advantageous in jiu-jitsu is because you have all those arms to tie your opponent up with and choke him, or get him in a joint lock. So yeah, Damian Maia did his thing. It was beautiful. I loved it. Against the grain with this thing is easy peasy. This is a much better face razor than a head razor. Still really weird though. Wow. This side is usually a little bit more troublesome than this one for against the grain. But, wow. Okay, now this is impressive. Wow, that is absolutely glass smooth. Wow, that's insane. All right, Damian Maia, bad man, good on you, buddy. Middleweight title fight. Chris Weidman versus Luke Rockhold. To be really honest with you, not really the world's biggest fan of either one of those two guys. They both kind of repulsed me a little bit. It was to the point where every time I would hear them speak in public prior to their fight, whoever it was that just got finished speaking, I wanted them to lose just because, God, they just find ways to annoy me. Not that it really matters. I'm inconsequential. But that was a great fight. I want to turn this thing around and go on the other side. Great fight. Great fight. Back and forth. Ultimately, Luke Rockhold ended up winning, and here's what's scary for the middleweight division. Is that Weidman was holding court in middleweight. Granted, he was fighting a bunch of older dudes, which are still my guys. Anderson Silva, Vitor Belfort, and Lyoto Machida. But he was holding court. He was winning the fights. You know, I don't think he should have beat Anderson Silva. Either way, or either fight, I should say. But that's just the fanboy in me talking. So he finally fought somebody around his age and around his size. Wow. This thing is terrible. This thing is not a good head shaver, but wow, is it good? It's really, really good on the face. That's insane. That's crazy. Yeah, so Rockhold ended up winning the fight. But here's what's scary for the middleweight division is that was not Rockhold's best performance. He got tired in the second round. But good, you know, a positive thing that happened in that fight for him is that in the second round, the champion Weidman, the outgoing champion Weidman, did not like that fight. He was disheartened and tired as well in the second round. And that first round, that was something else. They definitely got after it, so to speak, in the first round. So, in the third round, Chris Weidman threw a kick. He threw a spinning heel kick, which he doesn't do. Rockhold body locked him after he avoided it, after he ducked it, put him down, and just started going bananas on him. He was on top for about a minute and 30 seconds, and the last 45 seconds of that time period, he was really beating up Chris Weidman like badly. I suspect that Herb Dean, the referee, is a Chris Weidman fan because how he didn't see fit to stop that fight in the third round is one of the great mysteries that probably won't ever be addressed. But man, Rockhold put it to him at the end of that third round. I mean, just a minute and a half of unanswered offense. Defense wasn't really intelligent either. So yes. Congratulations, Luke Rockhold. His Camp American Kickboxing Academy. Very happy right now. They have two champions. The middleweight champion, Luke Rockhold, the newly minted middleweight champion, Luke Rockhold, and the light heavyweight champion, Daniel Cormier. They've got a fight coming up to try to get the heavyweight championship back. I do not see a situation, a scenario in which Cain Velasquez can beat Fabricio Verdum. People are still underrating Fabricio Verdum's striking. I do not understand it. The featherweight fight did not go as I wanted it to. And I understand that Aldo is not getting an immediate rematch, which is garbage. If Velasquez can get an immediate rematch, Rousey's talking about getting an immediate rematch. There's been a lot of questionable immediate rematches. And for Jose Aldo, who went undefeated for 10 years prior to last night, the only featherweight champion that the Ultimate Fighting Championships has ever had, gets knocked out in that very fluky fashion in 13 seconds, and he is not getting an immediate rematch. That is garbage. So yeah. Alright, I'm going to stop because final verdict. Terrible razor for the head. Incredible razor for the face. Yeah, this thing is a trip and a half. I got to stop doing that because I'm feeling stubble and it makes me want to attack it. So, 1 second, you guys. It's a very gentle razor. Not a drop of blood anywhere that this thing has been, I don't think. Alright, today's aftershave. It's been a while since I've used this lovely little thing. Lavanille. I read somebody, I think it was Derek, my world's favorite brush maker, did the inverse of this. Lavanille soap with rum kyovu. So I decided to do this. Although I think the other way probably would have been a little bit better, seeing as how Lavanille soap seems to stick on my skin better. The scent, I should say, seems to stick on my skin better than Rome. But the mix of the two is nice. It's quite delightful. Those of you that think you don't like lavender or vanilla, I implore you to get a bit of this Lavanille splash because it's very, very good. And get you some. Alright, that's going to be it. I hope you guys have had a good week. Hope you will have a good week. And I really don't think I'll be back until after Christmas. So I'm just going to go ahead and preemptively wish everybody a Merry Christmas because I don't think I'll see you before then. Peace.